Minister, I see the Minister for Finance, Taoiseach Imaha, his first budget, he had plenty of money and heaps of opportunities, but he failed it. He kowtowed to the big people again, the big business. Take the situation with a kite flown about 20% stamp duty on the conglomerates buying up houses. You put on a 5. And in the rural independent, our budget submission wanted 50, because 4 in every 10 houses have been gobbled up by these conglomerates. 4 in every 10. There's no limit in at all before the budget, or in this budget either, for the number of apartments. You can buy all the apartments you want. These vultures from overseas and cocoa funds and God knows what. And then you talk about building houses on the other hand. How can we have houses for young people when you have that kind of carry on? When you won't tackle these people, you won't tackle the beef brands, you won't tackle the big conglomerates buying up every inch of Tipperary and every place else as well, paying 38,000 an acre for farmers. Between you crucifying the farmers and giving them no supports, and indeed very little inheritance either, as Deputy Healy said, inheritance tax, land is not something that you dispose of. Most farmers want to hand it on as a working farm. And they're not working for fun here. They're producing food to keep food on the tables here, and to export food, and to supply their food all over the world, the best, cleanest of food. So you're completely out of touch and out of sync. You're in power too long. I know that for too well. One time you used to be Fianna Fáil in power for too long, and Fine Gael in power for too long. Michael Wing said you were far left for too long. Now you know whether you're left or right or centre or what you are. But now you have Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael together, and you're trying to create a row now that you would cause some kind of rift, that you would have an excuse to go to the country to canvass, oh, I'm Fianna Fáil and I'm Fine Gael. You're wearing the same shoes. You can have the same pair of shoes, but one on each leg, and one on your leg, and one on the Minister for public expenditure leg. And meanwhile, public expenditure is gone crazy, totally crazy. The waste. And the budget last week, right, with the finance bill today, I might add a shortened down one. And what's happening? A billion yesterday, in a supplementary estimate. With the whole budget right out to us and news and everything else, 10 days before the budget was delivered here, and then a week later we're blocking holes in the HSC and every place else with a billion expenditure. So you're playing games with the people, but the people out there, thanks be to God, they're educated and they're smart, and they're not going to be fooled, and they understand what you're trying to do. As I said, that was an area that was crying out to be done. Another area, you're crippling people with VAT. You did nothing for the carers as regards the means test. Why don't you put a tax on all the hoteliers? They're not even hoteliers. Some are, but some are just greedy people that are providing accommodation for IPAS centres and for Ukrainians, and they're getting a fortune, a fortune. Why don't you charge 23% VAT on that? You'd bring in a couple of billion very handy. You're making millionaires out of greedy people out there. Greedy, greedy people, and all they want is money. Not for the compassion for the Ukrainians or the IPAS people, just for their poker, for their pockets. Greed has taken over, and it's not compassion. We were always known as a compassionate country, and we went all over the world, our missionaries and our priests and nuns and everywhere, and lay people, and gave help. Now it's the greedy people that moved in. We'll provide them, and most of them are friends of Fianna Fáil and friends of Fine Gael and friends of some powerful independents in here as well. It's immoral, and it's disgusting, and it's not right. Why don't you put 3% VAT on those, and why give them money for jam? And some of the conditions that they have these people housed in are quite simply appalling. We have a place in Dundrum where they don't even have fire safety certs, and you're happy to put people in there, men, women and children, mainly women and children, a place with no fire certificate or no regulations. It's shocking.